Mang saranang gacchami tatiyampi sangham saranang gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's observe 5 precepts. So repeat after me. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from. I observe the precept of
I observe the precept of
abstaining from sexual misconduct.
abstaining from sexual misconduct.
I observe the precept of
I observe the precept of
abstaining from telling lies.
abstaining from telling lies.
I observe the precept of
I observe the precept of
abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs.
taking intoxicating drinks and drugs.
So, I hope that you have already remembered the five precepts, no?
Yes.
And the meaning as well. Because just remembering the rules and precepts is not enough. So, we have to know, we should know actually, what is the meaning of each single precept and how it breaks up, how we have to protect it. So we have to know all the things. Just abstaining is not enough. As an example, take as an example about the killing living beings. Because you even ask questions from me about the ants while we're sleeping or doing watching ups, what happens. Actually, the important thing is that all 5 precepts, main reason is for the breaking up is our intention. If we do not have any intention to killing being or particular being, that means it won't break up. So intention is the main reason. As an example, in early days there was a Arahant monk, enlightened monk. He was blinded monk. So early morning, he wakes up 3:30, 4 a.m. So he came out of his room, his meditation hut, and he was doing walking meditation, back and forth, doing again and again. So rainy season, early morning, so many frogs and the small insects, they full of that compound. He didn't even know, but so many frogs, they got died because of he stepped on them. But he didn't even know. So other monks, they saw this. So they approached the Blessed One, complain about him. Said that monk, intentionally he's killing living beings. So Blessed One summoned him. Then he turned up in front of the Blessed One. Then Blessed One asked that, dear monk, do you aware about that? While we are doing walking meditation, there are so many frogs. They died because we have stepped on them. So that monk answered, Blessed One, I didn't even know about that. So how can I kill a living being? Then the Blessed One penetrate through his mind, then realize he's an enlightened monk. So right after that, Blessed One explained two main reasons, two main factors. First one is, he said, if there's a blind person, or if there's a person who without any intention, while he doing his activities or working something else, if some being got killed by his activity without his intention, that means it doesn't mean with him it doesn't mean with him. It doesn't make anything with him because he hasn't got any kind of intention. It's not an unwholesome one. And the other one is, this monk is enlightened one. There's no way enlightened monk do such a thing. So it's impossible. So we have to be careful about these things because sometimes this is the importance of the middle path. Even the precepts, or even the morality, even the samadhi, even the consider Dhamma, like a wise consideration, Dhamma, think and think again and again. Every single thing, we should have that our limits. Do not go in that too hard. Do not take it too easy. We have to stay in a middle way. If you take the sila, if you take the morality in too hard, then you can't do any activity in day-to-day life. You can't sweep, you can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But as soon as I notice, I don't know what to do. When I don't notice, I know, okay, it was no attention. But it even would be not the right thing just to think, okay, then I don't look, so I don't know. This would even not be right? So
there's a way, there's a hint we can understand, we can recognize our activities is getting the right path. If you observe precepts and the protecting precepts, if you feel happy and joyfulness, that means you are in the right path. But because of the sila, because of the morality, you feel it's a burden. Oh, I can't do anything. I can't sweep. I can't walk. If you feel it as a burden, that means you are in a wrong path.
Yeah, but still, what should I do if I see some ants there in the zinc, for example, and I feel like I can't remove all of them, so I choose another thing. Yeah. But
why it don't impact on us? There are so many monks, not only you.
I know.
Yeah, why it doesn't impact on other?
I don't know. That's why I still have to ask how I have to do it. I can't just hear the precept and without asking you, just doing how I think. And I think a lot of monks they would just say, okay, I can't do anything, I clean up the ants. Either they go away or they will.
We are doing our day-to-day activities without any without taking it seriously, because we are doing our activity. We are not in a rescue mission.
Yeah,
like a rescue mission of the ants or insects.
But I'm still at the beginning, so I have still to find out.
Yeah, so that means on that time you are not in a mindful position. If you are mindfulness, that means you know what are you doing right now. If you go with that one again and again, that means you didn't even think about the activity. No need to talk about mindfulness. You didn't even complete your activity, because you can't do that with mindfulness or without mindfulness. If you are struggling with these kind of thoughts and issues, so
that's why I'm asking.
But it takes time. It takes time. But sometimes our characteristics also might be an issue, because sometimes it makes us harm, and it put us in a huge danger. I'll explain another story. In the early time, there was a monk. He practiced Dhamma very intensively, but he's still not enlightened. But he practiced really hard. Actually, he didn't even get any samadhi. He didn't even achieve wisdom, but still he protect his morality, in a perfect manner, without any issue. So actually for the monk, there's a monastic rule, there's a precept. We can't break up any trees, even the leaves, even we can't pluck flowers from the trees. This is the monastic rule, like a precept for us. So early days they're traveling by the boats. So the boat he was traveling get into the jetty, so he had to put his foot on that jetty, the wooden jetty. So while he was getting to the ground, all of a sudden there's a huge wave of the water. So boat was shaking up and down. So he's gonna fall into the water. So all of a sudden he grabbed a branch of a tree. So that tree broke up and get into his hand. So he was starting think about this. He think that since I get ordained, I never ever break up any branch or leaves. So but today, I'm not sure, is it a fault for me or is it okay with me? So he think it over again and again, not in a good way, in a suspicious and unwise manner. So then he got sick. He can't even accept alms, because when we go in front of the lay people, he think that I'm not suitable for accepting these alms, because already I have broken up my rules. So he got sick. Finally, on his deathbed, all the time he think about this. Then right after death, he reborn in an animal world. So his journey to the enlightenment over, because of just this reason. He is very, very pure monk, protecting all the precepts as Buddha explained. But he's got an issue. He's not a wise person. His consideration is not on a path. So because of this just issue.
Yeah.
So don't take it too serious. If you take it too serious, that means you are not in a track. You are running very fast, but another track.
I understand, but I still need an answer then, because if you just say don't take it too serious, every person is considering serious or easygoing different. So, yeah.
Actually, normally, as an example, if I go to bathroom for a pee or something, if I see any insects in that pan, squatting pan or somewhere, actually the very first thing I will do is remove that insects. Then I do my activity.
Mm-hmm.
So, because if you see, then we can't say that don't take it too serious, because we have seen already.
But then there were about 30 ants in every sink in the morning, so I was really...
Put the water. This is the best thing. I put water, open up the tap.
But I just saw a small one died already when I put a little bit of water in it.
No, they do not die. Just the thing I'm doing is just open up the tap for just few seconds, and right after they wash the way of it. Then do not start the washing ups, because we have to give some time to them to struck to somewhere. Then we can do it. It's the best thing.
Yeah, still, I just still have to figure it out. Yeah, but I know I take a lot of things too serious.
Yeah.
I think more than almost everyone
Another thing
else,
is, we have to remember that if you get these kind of issues, that means right after doing washing ups, we need to clean up that place. Because of the dirtiness, all the ants comes
they
up.
come, yeah.
Yeah. So there are so many angles, and the we have to think it seriously.
Yeah.
If we keep our place clean all the time, that means there are less distractions. This kind of.
Yeah. I have a question
Yeah.
about the book. Just it's regular with it. I already kind of know what it is, but I still want to ask again. It's about dukkha.
Yeah.
That on every object is like what was it? It was pressure, stress, and friction.
Yeah.
So, for example, this one, is it like gravitation, for example, and everything, or what everything is it? I would like to know from you what everything is mean with this. What's pressure is on this?
I don't get your point. What do you mean by what everything?
Like on every dukkha, on every object, there's like written like there is pressure, stress, and friction is on every object.
Actually, I think as I understand, you mean the characteristics of the phenomena, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phenomena means everything includes ourselves and the outer world.
Yeah.
As an example, the object, something we are seeing.
Yeah.
As an example, let's take
this what I want to take as an object. What on this object is all the time stress, friction?
No, these type of objects we don't think in that angle. We have to talk in this way. This is a physical phenomena. This physical phenomena, it exists 3 characteristics. Is a something, it arises, and is a something gonna decay someday. By the time between arising and decay, arising and disappearing, by the time the characteristic of this cup is changing all the time. This is the character. So we have to think in this way. Every single phenomena, it has these 3 characteristics: rising, then disappear, then between arising and disappear, changing all the time. So it is a common thing even to our body. But the problem with us is the phenomena arising, phenomena which holds these 3 characteristics, we attach to them, we cling to them. And when we think them as myself, this is me, this is myself, this is what I can control. This is the issue.
Yeah.
So actually the issue is not glass. The issue is not the physical phenomena. Issue is the real issue is our clinging. This is the real issue.
Yeah.
Because if the glass is an issue, we can't get enlightened any day, because we can't make it change.
Yeah.
If the table is the issue, we can't get enlightened. But the issue is the clinging. This is the reason we can enlighten, because the clinging is the thing we can still control, and we can realize, and we can cut it off.
So restriction and stress is just mean from the clinging from us.
Yeah, but actually I'm not sure what do you mean by explaining. But this is the main character. You can show
Yeah,
show
it's
it to
just
me.
the same like with oppression the last time, just with different. Yeah, but in this case it's pretty clear because it's more from the clinging.
Yeah.
But in some.
Yeah, this is the 3 characteristics.
Yeah.
It means the impermanence and the suffer and the like a non-self.
Yeah, but just because in some sentence in this book they just write on every object there is all the time stress, friction, and tension.
But I'm not sure what do you mean by these words. If I hang on a minute.
But you know which words I mean, right?
No, I doesn't get your idea.
Okay. It's just a lot of times they write stress, tension, and there was another.
I got your point. Okay, inheritance. That means if you are clinging to this, that means by clinging these phenomena, it makes us stress because those things undertook the subject to change.
Yeah. Okay.
So since we are clinging to that thing, that means we are under very stress. We are under very suffer. We are under huge inconvenience because even though we do like or we do not, we can't change that phenomena. We can't control them. It is subject to change, all the time changing.
I understand.
This is the stress.
Okay, I understand it. It's just sometimes in the books I didn't find the part right now because this is the easy part.
Yeah.
But in another part they just write at every object is, for example, stress. Every object is every time stress. So maybe they don't write it long enough. They already mean because of the clinging.
Yeah, right? Because of the clinging.
Okay.
Not without clinging.
They just don't write it. Okay.
But the common thing for every physical phenomena is there are characteristics. If we cling to them, if we cling to it, then it makes us stress.
Yeah, sure. That's I understand.
And this is the root of the suffer. There are four noble truths: suffer, and the rising of the suffer, cessation of the suffer, and the path, which one is end of the suffer. There are four noble truths. Mm-hmm. So actually, the glass is not the issue. Issue is the clinging.
Yeah.
This is the rising of the suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So if he sees it, that means there's no more any sufferings anywhere.
Uh-huh.
So, as an example, the Buddha explained that. Take an example. In here, you are in a Bangkok right now. So, if you hear such a story, there are so many people, hundreds of people get killed by some disaster. So, how do you feel?
Usually bad. Sad for the people.
Yeah.
Compassion.
Yeah. Then later, while you're reading newspaper, looking at the news, they declare the name list of the people who got killed. While you're reading the names, you came across the two names. Whoever you already know about it. As an example, the family or somebody.
Yeah.
Then how do you feel?
Way worse.
Worse. Why for the other people you do not worse that much, but for those two specific people you feel that bad? What is the reason?
Because it's closer to me. It's like more clinging.
Yeah, you're more clinging those two people than the other people.
Yeah.
So that means if you cling little bit, that means there's a little bit of suffer. If you cling too much, that means there's too much suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So that is mean by stressing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I understand. I understand it even before, but sometimes they don't write it too clear. I guess because it's for a beginner.
Yeah.
They write it for
Sometimes we need an explanation because it is sometimes they just go through with the main points. They do not go in the details.
Yeah.
So these type of things we need to go to very deep and discuss again and again.
Yeah.
So then only we can make them clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of physics, so I know he has pressure too on it. So I think about gravitation and all this.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean, because this is every single thing in here talking about the suffer. We are suffering at the moment because the Buddha explains once right after he preaching a Dhamma about the four noble truths. He said that all four noble truths arises in the body between up from the foot and the under the head. So all the suffers arises inside this body, not in outer world. Suffer and the arising cessation and the path. You can't find path outside. You can't find suffer outside. You can't find arising outside. You can't find enlightenment outside. Everything arises inside the body. So because so many people, they got understand wrongly. They think that suffer is the glass, suffer is the table, suffer is the house. It's not like that. It is because of clinging. Because the glass, it hasn't any clinging. It's just a physical phenomena.
Yeah, I really understand. It's just really because in some parts of the books it wasn't 100% clear.
Yeah. Then another example. These are very like eccentric and very beautiful similes that whichever Buddha explains. There's two cows. One of them white color and one of them black color. There are two cows. So they put some sort of a chain between them. Then that white one and the black one, two cows, they attach to each other by that chain. Okay? Do you understand that?
I don't know what chain is, but I was looking for the...
It's a chain like a rope.
Yeah, okay.
Tightened by the rope. Take a rope and tighten the black cow, and the other end tighten the white cow. So those two cows, black and white, tighten up by that rope. So another guy looking at them, and he declared that now the two cows are walking down the path. So one guy, he declared that white cow, he has to walk because of that black cow. Then another guy say, no. Black cow, he has to walk because of that white cow. They can't depart from each other because of one guy say they can't depart from each other because of black cow. Another guy say they can't depart from each other because of white cow. Then the Buddha asked, what is the reality in there? Then the monks replied, Blessed One, reality in this case is those two cows has to walk and has to be together. They can't depart from each other because of that rope. Not because of that another cow. So Buddha explained that eye has to cling with the form, ear has to cling with the sound, nose has to cling with the odors, tongue has to cling with the flavor, body has to cling with the tangibles, and the mind has to cling with the thoughts. Not because of eye, not because of form, not because of ear, not because of sound, not because of nose, not because of odor, not because of tongue, not because of flavor, not because of body, not because of tangible, not because of mind, not because of thoughts. Because of what? Because of the rope. What is the rope? Clinging.
Yeah.
Clinging the reason. So, in the outside, we may think, our problem is our eyes. Then just close up the eyes, then we can finish our issue. We can't do that. Because problem is not eyes. Then people say, problem is there are so many noises going around. So, it's better I stay away from these noises. It's just temporary remedy. He can't get any wisdom on that. He just run away from the issue. Actually, real reason is we are cling to eye and cling to form. This is the real reason, like a black cow and the white cow. Because early days there's another teacher. He teaches his student about his spiritual life. So one of his pupils, while he was in the village, he came across with the monks of the Blessed One of the monk. Then that monk asked, "How about your teacher? What kind of doctrine he teaches?" Then he says, "Our teacher teaches like this. Don't see forms. Do not listen to the sounds. Do not take any orders. Do not taste any flavors. Do not feel any tangible. Do not think anything. Then our life gonna be pure." He claiming like this. This is the teachings of another sector. Then that monk asked, "If your teacher teaches like this, that means the one who enlightened should be a blind person. One who enlightened should be a deaf person, because they don't see anything. They don't listen to anything. So we can't control by that. It's just getting away from our problem. So we have to remember the problem is the clinging. If we can control this, if we can understand this, and if we can get away from this, if we can make it less. This is the reason every single defilement we talking about. Behind all the defilements, the root is clinging. This is why I keep telling all the days, the most important thing is recognizing the clingings, whatever cling to our mind. This is the important thing. It might be greedy, it might be lust, it might be hatred, it might be delusion, it might be jealousy, it can be anything. Because in this world, if there's any number of defilements, subject to arise in our mind, every single defilement. We can't say, "I don't have that one, I don't have this one." Because our mind subject to arises. This is the characteristics of our mind. So we have to be careful about these things. So other day also we talked about the six sense faculties, no? So now do you have any clear understanding about that? Do you have it or not?
I don't know how clear.
Yeah.
Probably it can be more clear.
Yeah, actually,
about
it definitely should be clear than tomorrow should be clear than today. It's the theory in this Dhamma. Day by day, it's getting clearer and clearer.
But I understood. Yeah,
we can't say it's like a crystal clear for us because it's a long journey. But you have to start from here, and especially the basic things. If you get basics right, that means your path is clear. But if you get the basics wrong, that means we can't assure about your future in this spiritual journey. Because the important thing is the way we practice, whether it's the way Buddha explained or not. This is the important thing. Because so many people, so many guys in this world, they are practicing meditation. They're saying they are doing meditation, even the Western. But the important thing is, even though they are practicing meditation and practicing spiritual development, whether they practice the way Buddha explained or not, this is the important thing. It's like even the Buddha explained another simile to this. He said that, as an example, you take the Bangkok. This is the province called Supanburi. So if somebody asks from another guy, "I want to go to Bangkok. Can you show me the way?" Then he explained that, "Okay, now you are in this temple, then go to in front of the gate, then you take left, and go 200 meters and take U-turn, and drive along the road, then another 5 kilometers as an example. No? You have to take a turn left, then another 20 kilometers, you have to take turn the left, you have to take the left turn, then another 5 kilometers, you have to get into the highway." So he explained the way. if somebody goes in this way, he can go to the Bangkok. So the receiver who listened to that explanation, he get into the car, then he take a turn and U-turn. In the place that the person who give the guidelines, he said that the junction in front of you, you have to take a left. But this guy, he take a right. So he did not follow the instruction of that guy. He followed his own instruction. So he won't end up in the Bangkok. He's in another way. Dhamma also like this. We explaining, you have to practice like this. You have to practice now this. Don't do walking meditation, do sitting meditation. Don't do it so many hours. Just start from this. Right after we explain, he's practicing whatever he wants. So after so many years later, that man comes back and said, "You are liar, you said the way go to the Bangkok, but I didn't go to the Bangkok. I ended up in the wrong point. So can he blame to him? He can't blame. This is his own fault." This is also like this. So many years later, some people, they turn up and they said, "We're practicing so many years, but now I can't practice anymore. I have got this kind of issue, that kind of issue." So what can we do? We can't do anything because we are just explaining the way. This is only what can we do. So you have to pay attention while you are listening, then be careful and practice whatever Buddha said only.
I have a question about the six senses. I looked it up and I still not 100% sure just about the mind, because mind is, to German it's get translated in two different kinds.
Yeah,
like the mind, like kind of your brain, and the other kind like kind of your ghost. I don't know how the English.
Yeah, it's a soul. I mean, I think what do you mean by soul? Because soul, so many Westerners, they're talking about the soul.
Yeah, I don't mean the soul because in the Buddhism there is no soul. Yeah.
Actually, the Buddhism they mean by soul is it's like a astral body. They're talking about the soul, but it's.
What body?
Do you know astral body?
Extra body.
Astral body means there are three types of bodies in this figure. The first one is this physical body. So inside the physical body, there are another body is called like a mental body. Astral body means mental body.
Okay.
This is exactly same as the physical body. All the features, every single thing, exactly same as the physical body. Then there's another body, it's called a perceptional body. That means actually it's difficult to explain. It's like it doesn't clear in this type of world, but right after we attain to jhana, high state of concentration, we can deal with that perceptional body. So just remember that there are three types of body.
I just read from Buddha Dharma,
Yeah.
Buddha Dasa Bhikkhu, like two bodies, like flesh body and normal one or something. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
but in the Pali canon they explain three bodies.
Okay.
So
But I don't really understand.
actually about the mind, the brain is just a physical part.
Yeah.
All these six faculties, there are physical part and the mental part. It's called form and the name. So physical.
How is it called form?
I'll explain.
Okay.
As an example, if you take an eye as an example, the eye we can touch, we can feel. It's just a physical eye. But inside the eye, there's a special ability to absorb forms and absorb all the mental items, and it has the ability to generate even the karma as well. This part is a mental part. So this mental part we can't touch, we can't feel. So the eye, you have to remember there's a physical part and the mental part. And the ear, there's a physical part and the mental part. Nose, tongue, body and the mind, brain, there's a mental part and the physical part. So we can just feel only physical part.
Can you say the mental part again on the eye?
Actually, as an example, if you looking at some form, as an example, bunch of flower,
Yeah.
you feel pleasure. Pleasure is not a physical part.
Uh-huh.
Pleasure is a mental part.
Mhm.
Then you recognize all the colors of the flower. Is a red, green, blue. This is not a physical part. This is a mental part.
Uh-huh.
Right after that, you start to think. As an example, if you are, your ex-girlfriend, you gave those type of flowers to her in a few years ago. So just your mind jump onto that memory. This is not a physical. This is mental. Can you see that? Feeling, perception, and the volitional actions. Think about that. All the things are mental.
So mind is the brain, or how can I imagine the mind right now?
Actually, don't go with like that, because the Buddha explained in this way. Where the mind works, we use the word like a mind of the eye, mind of the ear, mind of the nose, mind of the tongue, mind of the body, mind of the mind. As an example, we put up a fire using the sticks, using the bamboo sticks. Then we call it's a bamboo fire, bamboo stick fire. We put up a fire using some sort of a chemical. We said that it's the fire from the chemical. If we put up a fire from the dungeons of the cow, then we call it as a fire from the dungeons of the cow. So fire is all the time same, but the reason behind the fire is a difference. But end of the day, it's fire. We just recognize it from its horizon place. So mind of the eye, because mind works in eye, mind works in ear, mind works in nose, mind works in tongue, mind works in body, and mind works in mind. Because if we close eyes, close our ears, close our nose, close our mouth, then do not feel anything to the body. Still you can't get away from the thoughts. Why? What is the reason? Your mind still working.
Yeah.
And another thing is, mind is all the time dealing with whatever eye absorbs, ears absorbs, nose absorbs, tongue absorbs, body absorbs. 5 things. Whatever they absorb, mind using it again and again. This is the duty of the mind. Without the mind, those 5, they can't work. So all the time we think about whatever we have seen, whatever we have hearing, whatever we have flavoring, whatever we have touching. So mind uses these 5 doors. Actually, mind like a householder. He's the big boss there. So it's okay, because at first, actually it takes time. But at first you have to think it little by little. Eventually it takes time, but day by day you will feel it's more clear. So don't get into the conclusion straight away. Just try to understand this, because it takes time. All I can say, it takes time.
Yeah. How is it, for example, with sounds?
Yeah.
When I hear a car or a song or whatever, and you should listen or hear it without to getting attached to it, right? For example, if I hear car or something, is the touching that means just hear the sound, know it's a car, but don't get any feelings about it or thinkings about the car or something.
We can't do that. Whether we like or not, feeling is horizon. We can't stop that. Just whatever we can stop is clinging to that. Because feeling is there, we can't stop that. Perception, recognizing is there, we can't stop that. Then the only thing we can stop is clinging to the feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, feeling is there all the time.
So clinging would just be when I hear noise of a car and I don't like it, and I.
This is they don't like it. This is the point you have to be mindful.
So the don't like is still okay because I can't change it.
Actually, the don't like is not the issue. Actually, issue is that feeling is the pain. You feel don't like because of that pain. So straight away, you're feeling like uncomfort. You have to realize my mind is start getting like a nervous or irritate. That means not a good sign. This is the point you have to control.
Okay, so the don't like is still not, I can't control after I notice, okay, I don't like, then I start.
Yeah, actually, as a beginner, we have to do like this. But as an enlightened monk, while he is listening to the sound, he just recognizes this is the pleasure one, this is the pain one. But there are no disliking or anything, because totally pure mind, totally control.
Okay.
But still there's a pain and pleasure.
Yeah.
But whatever we can't see in the eyes, dislike or any clinging or any reaction to that.
So you have it sometimes and sometimes not, or how can I imagine it?
What?
Like when you talk, that you sometimes cling and sometimes you don't cling, or how is it for you?
Yeah, actually as actually we are also beginners. As a beginner, we have to put huge effort and try hard to control that.
Yeah.
So if somebody have sometimes and dislike sometimes, do not dislike sometimes, that means he are in some sort of under control, in a good position. For that, the feeling, we can't get away from that. Even the Buddha explains simile. There's a goat, there's a cow, another cow. So another guy turn up and skin him alive. Skin him alive. Yeah. Take the skin out alive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then it feeling hurt, so that cow it runs toward the huge tree and try to stay under the tree. Then all the insects in the tree get into the body and start sting him and bite him. Then he can't stay there, it can't stay there. He runs outside in the ground. Then all the insects and the animal in the background turn up and sting him and bite him. So it can't endure anymore, so it jumped into the water. All the animals in the water started to bite him. So Buddha explains all the feelings also like this. We can't get away from the eye, we can't get away from the nose, ears, we can't get away. It's a very beautiful simile. It's a perfect one. So there are no way, it's impossible. So it's a great simile, so you can think it again and again. And about the situation of the enlightened monk, Arahant monk, so there's another simile. There's a guy, he hit by some sort of a arrow in here, his hand or foot. So somebody take it off. So still there's a wound. Then another guy turned up and struck in again in that same place. So he is struck by 2 arrows in the same place. So how about his pain? It's like twice. So Buddha explains, ones who not get enlightened like this, actually he's got all the feelings like a first struck. Second struck is his mind cling and dislike. So other than the feeling, he again suffer from his own disliking and own clinging. But for the enlightened monks, there's only first struck. There are no more second struck. Can you understand that?
Yeah, sure.
It's a very beautiful one.
Mm-hmm.
So, every single thing, Blessed One explained in a clear way.
How is it, for example, if there is some other noise in the room I dislike and I want to listen to you? Should I try to ignore the noise because I just want to listen to you? I think in this case it's better to ignore. Or
Yeah, actually, at that moment, you are like a cow, whoever skin alive. So sometimes we can't get away, so you have to put your concentration in here. If you start think about that sound, that means your mind starting dislike it.
Yeah.
Inside the mind you are in a battle. So sometimes you may blaming towards them even. Who's the guy make sounds in here? They don't even know we are learning right now. So you start thinking like this. All the thoughts come from the dislike or hatred.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning still we can control it. But it gets better. After that we can't do anything. This is the very beginning is the easiest point. We have to control this.
Yeah, and for example, I hope it's okay that I ask something like this. When I take a very cold shower, why is it better to feel what I'm doing now, like the shower, instead of concentrating, focusing on my breath, for example? Because I push it away then,
it's better if you feel good, you have to understand, okay, I've got a good feeling, but not cling to that.
Yeah, but I mean when the shower is too cold for me, and instead of really realizing what I'm doing, I just focus on my breath, that it's not too hard for me.
Actually, I'm not recommend that concentrating on the breathing while get a shower. If you can concentrate about your body, or even you can think about the loving kindness, anything else.
Yeah, but is it not the best way just to accept like it is and really feel the cold shower even if it's too cold, or is it really sometimes better?
Yeah, so if you feel too cold, you can even analyze that. What is going on here? My body, and there's a tangible, and there's my mind. Those three things get together. So this is the painful feeling. So this is the painful feeling because of those three things, not because of me. This is the way we have to analyze.
Because of the three things?
Because of the three things get together, so there arises a painful feeling, not because of me or not me. So because we are getting it as a me or myself.
Yeah, like when I get pain, for example, if I just start dreaming, thinking about something else.
Actually, because if you're dreaming or thinking about something else, it can be wholesome or it can be unwholesome. If it's unwholesome, that means you are in a wrong path.
Yeah, but even I'm not mindful if I think about something else.
Yeah, because the danger is it can be unwholesome. That means you are in a danger again.
Yeah.
But if you can analyze or doing something, the best thing is analyzing or whatever thoughts regarding the wholesome, even the loving kindness, or analyzing, or even the recollect the qualities of the Blessed One, or anything else, wholesome is okay.
Okay. I thought I should feel whatever it is. If I have pain, I should feel.
Actually, it's not a 24/7.
Okay.
Because we are beginners.
Yeah, okay, but I mean.
Yeah, because if you're
in
gonna
the further stage.
Even the further stage, even though you're gonna do all 24/7 about this analyzing, that means it makes your mind tired and fatigued. Then your mind won't be concentrate anymore. Then you are out of the concentration, you are out of the happiness and joyfulness. All the day you feel fatigued and tired. So this is I am telling all the time. There should be balance. So keep in your mind about the simile of that violin player.
About, sorry?
Violin player. Can you remember the violin player?
Right?
who practicing walking meditation too
yeah,
hard.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So actually practicing Dhamma, it's for the wise person. It's not for the like a person who got strength or wealthiness. It's only for the wise person. He can be even in the Thailand, even in the Sri Lanka, even in the German. But the main point is he should be a wise person. Wise person means he can consider and he can analyze something easily. Once he get in a trouble, he can analyze it by own. According to the Dhamma, and he can analyze it by his own.
But I think even unwise persons, they will make profit out of it. Not that much, maybe, but still better than not doing nothing.
Still better, yeah. Okay, we are run out of time. Okay.